Alright, here we go, part 2. So we're starting from here. When we ask our survey questions, we need to have a way to record the answers. One way to keep track of answers with a tally sheet. On a tally sheet, we make tally marks, which look like this. You might have seen me use them in the past if you guys owed me time at lunch. So a tally mark is a short vertical mark that counts as 1. 2 marks counts as 2. 4 marks, so 4 marks that look like that, with a 5th diagonal mark crossing them counts as 5. So here's an example of the tally sheet for the favorite lunch questions. So each of these with a line through them, that counts as 5. So that's 5, 5, 5, and another 5, which is 5 and 5 is 10. And then that's 5 and 1 is 6. So each of these, like that's 1, 2, 3, 4. But this with the cross over it is 5. So the question was written on the tally sheet so that it could be read to the person being interviewed. By reading the question from a sheet, we make sure that we ask the question the same way each time. So we would just ask, which of these school lunches is your favorite? Tuna, turkey, pizza, or chicken? You wouldn't ask it, is your favorite tuna, turkey, pizza, or chicken? You'd have to ask it the way it's written down. That way, students' answers don't change because you asked it different. So number 5 says, each time a person answers the question, a tally mark is placed by the answer. Look at the tally marks for tuna. So tuna. According to the tally marks, how many students named tuna as their favorite lunch? So go ahead and count those tally marks and write that down as your answer for number 5. Number 6 says, create a tally sheet similar to the one shown above to show favorite drinks to have with lunch. So write a question with choices, then list the possible answers, leaving room on the paper to tally the answers. One option may be no opinion. So what you guys are going to do for yours is just write a question with choices, then list the possible answers. So you're going to form it similar to this. So when you write it, you're going to write the same thing. You're going to type out question, and then hopefully you guys can all find where the colon symbol is, and then write down your question. So we're going to write a question about their favorite drinks to have with lunch. So you can ask whatever way you want. You can ask, what is your favorite drink to have with lunch? You can, what drink do you like to have with lunch? Something to ask what drinks they had for lunch. Drinks for lunch. You are writing your own question. End it with a question mark. So you write question, and then after that you're just going to type in, so they have answers, then you're going to type in answers with the colon and type in your possible options. So I will give one possible option. Maybe they like water. You should have 4 options. So you need to have 4 options with this. So you type out question, write your question, answers, your 4 options, and that's how you do number 6. Alright, keep moving forward. This says, while gathering or combining data, we need to avoid duplicating or omitting data. So duplicating means making, getting the same thing. If you duplicate, you kind of copy it. Or omitting, and omitting means to leave out. So we don't want to copy any data or leave out any data. So duplicating data occurs when information is counted more than once. So if I asked Lincoln a question twice and I forgot that I asked him the first time, that would be duplicating. Omitting data occurs when necessary information is left out. That would be if I asked Riley what her favorite drink was for lunch, and then if I asked David what his favorite drink in general was. So that would be leaving out information. Number 7 says, Brad found that 11 students in his class had dogs for pets. Dina found that 9 students in the same class had cats for pets. Brad and Dina concluded that 20 students in the class had dogs or cats for pets. Do you think their conclusion is correct? Why or why not? So, do we think that it would be fair to assume that, 20 students in the class had dogs or cats for pets? Maybe they might have something else. Maybe some have both. So do you think that conclusion is correct? So you write yes or no. And then why do you think so? So you have to know why you think that. You have to be able to use complete sentences, please. Please be writing in complete sentences. Complete sentences. All right. And number 8 says Brad and Dina also concluded that 20 students in the class have pets. Do you think this conclusion is correct? Why or why not? So, 20 students in the class have pets. Do we think that's true? So if we had, let's say we have, I'm sure they have like 30 kids, and they think 20 students have pets. Because they only asked about dogs and cats. Did they ask about birds, fish, chickens? No. Did they ask, let's see. Yeah. So maybe some people have birds, fish, chickens, horses, anything. So do we think that their conclusion is correct, that only 20, maybe out of like 30 students have pets? Probably not. And why do you think that? They might have, sorry, I'm going to run out of room, have other pets. Sorry, I tried my best. So that's the answer to number 8. No, they might have other pets that weren't an option. So hopefully this answer helps you with figuring out number 7. And you guys are also doing this class survey to some extent. So with your group, we don't have a group, think of a survey question to ask other students. So you yourself are going to think of a question to ask your classmates. Then you should make sure you don't have a bias, so you shouldn't be asking, do you think nice, soft, fluffy cats are better or mean, growling dogs? That's got bias in it. So think of a question, something that does not have to do with pets, that doesn't have to do with food or beverage in school, because we've already covered those things. So think of some other question, provide at least 2 answer options from which the other students may choose. So you're going to write out your question, give the options similar to what you're doing on this. Write down your question, give your options, and you don't worry about the tally sheet. Don't worry about asking your classmates. We'll have something like that for tomorrow's homework, or at the end of tomorrow's homework. So don't worry about the tally sheet right now when you finish your survey, and don't worry about the graph. So you are just going to, on the question that says class survey, type in your question that you'll have for all the students in the class and provide at least 2 answer options. So it's best to think of more options to better cover things, because like we learned here, they only asked about cats and dogs, but that doesn't give us all the information. Maybe you put birds in there, or goldfish, or just actual fish, or rabbits, something like that. So I'd probably have more than 2 options. 4 is probably a good, nice, even number to have, or more. And that's what you'll do. So class survey will look just like that. Ask your question, give your options. Don't worry about asking your classmates. We'll do that tomorrow. And there's your homework. Please be asking questions. Please still be working hard and treating this like we're actually in the classroom. And yes, please ask me any questions if any of this doesn't make sense.